Prepare for trouble. Make it double. To join together in collaboration to create amigurumi without hesitation. To spin the wheel and decide our fate to determine the parts we'll need to create. Kylie, Lee, Team Franken Pattern is back on the scene, even if we miss the actual anniversary on Halloween. I hope you all have at least a vague familiarity with Team Rocket and their motto. Otherwise, I was just that person performing weird spoken word poetry at open mic night. Anyway, the point my incredible poem was attempting to get across is that we are once again teaming up with Kylie from Complicated Knots, but make no mistake, this is no ordinary collaboration because we are also celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Franken Pattern. If you're relatively new to the channel, I will drop some links down in the description so you can head on down there after you've done here to discover what this Franken Pattern thing is all about. Because this is a special occasion, we've put a bit of a twist on the OG Franken Pattern formula for a bit of additional fun. But here's how it's going to work this time. Kylie and I will both spin the body part wheel 5 times. What we land on is going to determine what we're going to crochet. Our 6th and final piece is going to be a head and body piece of our own design. We're sort of counting this one as a free space because we won't be spinning for it. And rather than trading pieces back and forth like we normally would, we're instead going to crochet and assemble our own Franken pattern, then swap the complete patterns, and then attempt to assemble the other person's Franken pattern. So basically, this time we're going to end up with 2 Franken patterns instead of 1. Double the Franken pattern, double the fun. Now that we're all up to speed, we're gonna head on over to the body part wheel. I should probably think of a better name for that, shouldn't I? Just don't take it out of context. And we're going to spin to see what our first pattern is going to be. But even before I do that, I really need to decide if I want to crochet my head and body piece first and then spin for all the body parts I'll need to crochet, or do I want to spin for the body parts I need to crochet and then make the head and body pattern to fit those? Because the way I see it, there's pros and cons to both. The question is, which would be the most advantageous? I'm thinking maybe doing the head and body part first, because then I can crochet all my additional pieces to fit that. Change of plans. We're not heading to the body wheel just yet. We are instead going to brainstorm ideas for a head/body piece and make that. Okay, so for this head and body piece, I want to keep things super simple, really basic. I don't want to get too out there because we can get out there a little bit when we crochet the body parts. So I'm thinking either just something basic like a fish sort of shape. Can you guys even see that? Where's my darker? There we go. So a fish sort of shape. That's one shape. Then we could do like a sort of like a combined head body shape that's, I don't know, snowman-ish. I just want to keep it straightforward. So at this stage, I'm thinking of going with this one here. It just gives me a little bit more shaping to work with because there is a distinct head and body, whereas this one, I mean, it's just a semicircle. Well, in 2D form, it's just a semicircle. So I'm thinking we'll go with this one here. Next step, scrap yarn. Need to raid my scrap yarn bag. And I'm going to make sure that I write this down as I go because I've got to have something to send to Kylie. Well, there's the head done. So I am just going to continue on and crochet the body section. And then we can get to the fun part, which is spinning the wheel to decide what we crochet. Weird question. Did any of you, as a kid, totally accidentally leave jelly babies out in the summer sun, and they would melt and their head and body would like distend, because that's what I think my pattern looks like. A melted jelly baby. You know what it actually looks like too? Flubber. I used to watch that movie all the time as a kid. It's blue flubber, though I suppose flubber and melted jelly babies do kind of share a resemblance anyway, don't they? But that's what I think it looks like. Hopefully it won't look like that when I'm done. But there's only one way to find out, and that is going to be to spin the body part wheel, new name still pending for that, and determine what I'm going to crochet next. So let's head on over there. Are we ready for the first spin? Yes, we are. And oh my god. Claws, crustacean. Wow. I didn't really have a specific idea of where this was going, but somehow this has still gone in the completely opposite direction anyway. How are we going to do crustacean claws for my jelly baby flubber? How will that work? There's two ways to do this. I can either plan meticulously and decide where the claws are going to go, or I can just make some claws and figure out where they attach later. I'm just going to make some claws. I don't even know how I want to do this. Do I want to make them in rounds or rows? Rows would be a lot simpler. We'll try that first. We'll see how it looks. That's relatively claw-shaped, isn't it? We're not going for total anatomical accuracy here. I would say that is a very basic crustacean claw. How it's going to work with everything else, I don't know, but for my purposes, it works fine at the moment. So I'm just going to make sure I've written all that down. Spin 1 was relatively easy, which is always good. But now we're going to spin for body part number 2. And that is going to be teeth, apparently. I've decided to go with some sharp fang-like teeth because as someone who has big square buck teeth, I think sharp fang teeth are cooler, so I'm going to make some. And again, writing my pattern down. That was simple enough, just two little fangs. On to spin number 3 and spin again. Insect wings, that's not bad. Not bad. The question now becomes, what sort of insect wings do I go for? Because you can have dragonfly kind of wings, you could have beetle sort of wings, butterfly shaped wings. Yeah, let's try that. We'll do the butterfly shaped wings. I'm going to leave it there for now, but I may make a couple of minute adjustments. Possibly. I might leave it as it is, but I also might make a few adjustments. It'll just be changing up a stitch or two. Nothing major, but that is going to be my butterfly wing or my insect wing pattern for now. Then we can do body part number 4. What has 4 got in store for us? Ready, go. Tail short. I've made 3 of these patterns so far in rows, so I'm going to make the next one in the round. I mean, technically that was sort of in the round, but you know what I mean. My wheel said tail short. I mean, what counts as a short tail? How short? How long's a piece of string, really? But to me, I'd call that short. That is spin number 4. Done. I am making my way through these so much quicker than I thought I would. I did not expect that. And now it is time for our 5th and final spin. Drum roll, please. No, I'm not going to do a drum roll. I'm not waiting for that. Ready, go. And this time we have tusks. Seriously, tusks. They're just big, long teeth. I've already done teeth. And I have this, which you could argue already looks like a tusk. A tusk? Already looks like a tusk. You know what? I'm going to make an executive decision. Because I've already made teeth, I'm going to disqualify tusks and spin again. Kylie, if this disqualifies me, let me know. But I just feel like I'm crocheting the same or something very, very similar twice. And if you got all the same parts when you're trying to put your Franken pattern together, that's no fun. No one wants to do that. So again, I'm going to spin. And if I'm disqualified, I am disqualified. So apparently I forgot to remove my previous spins. So I've just landed on Claw's crustacean again. So I'm going to do my 5th and final spin for a 3rd time. What is my final spin? Please give me something that I haven't already have. Well, it's not like... Keep going. I got tail bob this time. Last time I got tail short. You know what? I've spun too many times already. I'm making a bobtail. In the pattern, I don't necessarily have to use it as a tail. But I don't want to spin any more times. Stop hitting the table, Lee. Okay, bobtail. Pattern coming up. That's a bobtail. A cute little bobtail. And with that, all my 5 pieces, well, 6 including the body, they're all done. So my next step is going to be figuring out how this thing will be assembled. So this is what it looks like with all the pieces in their intended positions. Honestly, it kind of looks like some magical walrus lobster hybrid. That actually looks like a moustache. We've got the claws, we've got the wings, and 2 tails. I'm not going to keep it like this. I just wanted to try it, which means now I'm going to have a bit of a play around and see what I can come up with. So Kylie has sent me all her pattern pieces, and I'm just going to do what I did with mine. All the initial parts I'll crochet using good old scrap yarn. Once I've done that and figured out how they're all going to fit together, then and only then will we crochet it in the good stuff. Got all my pieces put together in the configuration that I want, or at least the configuration that I want at this point. As I was making these, I actually came up with an idea that I think is pretty cool, but I don't want to give anything away, so you guys are going to have to wait to the end of the video to see that. In the meantime, you can watch me recrochet all of these pieces. I have recrocheted all of the pieces, some more than once. I have assembled all of them. It is now time to show you guys the final form of my Franken patterns. But before we do that, I'm going to have a bit of a squiz at what Kylie has sent me, because she's given me a preview of her Franken patterns, which I have not watched yet, and it's been killing me. I've had this sitting in my inbox for a day and a half now, but finally I get to look at it. Oh, that is so cool. I love the one on the right, the blue and the purple one, for reasons that are obvious to me, but you guys probably can't see this properly, so you'll have to go over to Kylie's channel and check it out to see what I mean. Oh, they are adorable. The eyes, I like how the eyes for the one on the right turned out. And the one on the left, that's got to be some sort of platypus hybrid, it's got to be. Well, now that I've seen Kylie's, you guys will have to head over to her video to actually get a good look at hers. But now I can show you what I came up with. If you'll remember, earlier in the video, I said I had a bit of an idea that I wanted to incorporate into my Franken patterns, and that was this. I made fantasy creature trophy wall head mounts. Did I get those words in the right order? They weren't supposed to be dragons initially. I didn't want to make dragons because when we did our last collaboration, I included dragons in that. But let's be honest, they turned out as dragons. I got a bit of the fire and water elemental theme going on here. These shields that I made, the wall mounts, these are temporary placeholders. I just used some pretty dodgy cardboard to make them because my sister has a Cricut machine, my brother-in-law has a 3D printer. So I wanted to get one of them to make me something. It just didn't happen in time. So for now, we have to bear with the cardboard and a really shoddy paint job. Hopefully when I get some decent wall mounts, they'll look a bit nicer. And that's it for this video. Another collaboration comes to an end. Thank you to Kylie for participating in it with me. Our collaborations are always so much fun, and I make the craziest things, so I genuinely enjoy doing those. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Share it if you think it's worth sharing, and I will see you all next week with another video. I have a bit of a Christmas thing planned, which I hope everyone will enjoy, but I guess we'll just have to wait until that video comes out next week to see. Also, I wanted to mention before we go, I am apparently still hung up on my Spin 5 misadventure because I had a stress dream the other night about the tasks or not crocheting the tasks. And here I thought the only stress dreams that I would have are the ones where I'm back in high school and I'm supposed to be taking a test that I didn't realise I had. But no, now I get to have stress dreams about crochet too. Excellent. And I'd just like to say a final thank you to all of my patrons for your amazing support.